Welcome to Viking basketball with head coach Jase Coburn, as the Portland State Vikings are home this week right here in Viking Pavilion. Thursday night, Idaho State. Saturday night, Weber State. Both games tip off at 7 p.m., and we have some great events going on. Thursday night's game, it's a $4 ticket special, and we'll explain why in just a moment. Saturday night is Strick City night. We honor the memory of Deontay Strickland. Coach, there is a lot going on this week. Most important for you is setting about to winning some more basketball games in the run-up to the Big Sky tournament. You got some pretty good momentum on a victory Saturday night at Northern Arizona.
Yeah, we're just looking to carry that momentum and ride the wave. You know, we've been playing good basketball all conference season and really all year. There's just a couple little things we need to make sure that we shore up before we get to the conference tournament. But we're excited over these last 5 games to try and get it rolling and roll into the conference tournament.
All right, and I referenced Northern Arizona. We're going to talk about it. It's the elephant in the room, and every room you go into here in Viking Pavilion, the great play at the end of the game to win the game, maybe the best play I've ever seen in my life and many others. Coach, give us a little rundown of what happened on Saturday night when the Vikings beat Northern Arizona 88-87.
Yeah, it actually started probably about 2 years ago, or 2 summers ago. We met as a staff and took some time when the guys went home for the break and drew up a lot of different scenarios and situations. And there was a play we felt really good about. We actually tried it last year in practice, and we never got the opportunity to use it. I didn't know if we were ever going to get the opportunity to use it, or if I was ever going to get the opportunity in my lifetime to use it. But we knew we wanted to be ready and prepared for that moment. And we practiced it in December when the guys came back from Christmas break right down here, and we actually converted it. So, when we knew there was a little bit of time left on the clock, we felt really good about the play we had. And we went out there and saw some things that NAU was doing, and I kind of looked at our guys a little bit and realized I needed to take another timeout to get everybody refocused and let them know that, hey, we've scored this before and we're about to get a shot. If we can just focus in on this next play, we're going to get a shot. And we knew Hunter Woods could throw the ball. We tried out throwers back in December and knew he could really throw it and he could, put it on a dime. And then, we knew with Isaiah Johnson, he could get up over the top and was strong enough and a great finisher that we knew if we could get the ball in his hands that we were going to get a really good shot at it. And so, credit to the guys, for executing that play. And it was a really tough situation because, we had thought we lost. And then there's only 0.4 seconds on the clock and you got to go the whole way down. But during that timeout, we all looked each other in the eyes and said, we're going to get this done. And, to the guys' credit, they were able to refocus and after thinking they lost and execute the play. And obviously it went in. So credit to the players for that.
And obviously, as emotionally low and high as you could possibly be in a college basketball game. Coach, Isaiah Johnson made that shot. He's played very well for you off the bench. I'm going to talk real quick about the bench. Bobby Harvey, 16 points in that game. He had a brilliant game. In fact, the team played really, really well. Northern Arizona did a great job to catch you right at the end of that game. Tell us a little bit about how well your bench has played. They had 71 points in 2 games last week.
Our bench is great. Our bench is awesome. That's one of the biggest strengths of our team is our bench. I've said this before, is like we don't really look at it like we have starters and bench guys because I feel like we've got a bunch of guys who could start, not only for this team, but probably some other teams too. And that's a really big strength is like we feel a lot of times when we go to the bench, our bench is either going to hold the lead or push the lead. And so we have a lot of confidence in those guys. And you mentioned a couple of them. Isaiah Johnson's been doing really well for us, and he's had a great season so far. Kendall Munson's really come on of late and played really well. Hayden Curtis has given us solid minutes. Keyshawn Saunders has been good for us all year long. Isaiah Kirby started the other night, but he's been terrific off the bench. And of course Bobby Harvey's been playing really well and shooting the ball. And then we got a couple other guys who haven't got many minutes, Emmanuel Taban and Trey Wood, that could definitely contribute also. So it makes it tough on me every single night to try and figure out how to get people in the game because I know everybody can help. So, but I couldn't be more proud of those guys for everything they've contributed so far to this point.
All right, the Vikings definitely a deep team. We're going to talk about another guy, Cameron Parker. He is now the two-time Big Sky Conference Player of the Week, has earned that honor the last 2 weeks in a row, and he has been red hot since the calendar has turned to 2023. He's led the Vikings in scoring in 11 straight games. He's averaged about 25 over his last 6 games. Coach, when you got Cameron Parker, you knew he was going to be a playmaker for you. You knew he was going to distribute the ball for you. He's done all that. Did you know he was going to score like he scored?
Yeah, I mean, looking at his percentages, coming out of Montana, we knew that he was a fully capable shooter. And so people a lot of times try and play off of him, which they're going to have to pick their poison because he can shoot the ball. So if they back up, he's able to shoot it. If they come out on him, he's really good at getting to the paint and making a play. So, and he's really smart with the ball. He's really good at getting to the free throw line too. I think he's one of the leading guys in the country at getting to the free throw line, and that's a skill. Like being able to get to the free throw line is a skill. So, but I mean, yeah, he's been great for us. I mean, it's awesome. He's back-to-back Player of the Week. I can't remember a time that since I've been in the Big Sky that has happened. So I'm really proud of him. And the thing I enjoy the most about him is his competitive spirit. He's a very competitive person, and he gets after it, practice, games. I mean, he's been getting after it every single night and every single day. So I've been really proud of him for that. And I can't say enough about what he's done so far this year for us.
All right, the Vikings on Thursday night playing Idaho State, and you can get $4 tickets. Go to govikes.com and click on the tickets links there. There's also a story on govikes.com telling you how you can get $4 tickets, and that's in recognition of the 0.4 seconds left on the clock last Saturday when the Vikings pulled out that miraculous win. Coach, the Vikings beat Idaho State earlier this season in Pocatello, probably one of your most complete performances in conference play. And tell us a little bit about Idaho State and what we can expect for that game.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about our bench earlier and our depth. I mean, they've got a lot of depth on their team too. They've got a lot of different guys who can play, a lot of different guys who can make plays and score. Coach Looney does a great job of putting those guys in those spots and in those positions. And we played well the first time we played against them, but that doesn't mean we're going to play well again. Like, we need to be able to recreate that. And, the score resets to 0, and, we need to play well. I mean, I've said this a billion times this year. You got to play well in this league to win. You can't just play average or okay and expect to win. So we know that they're a very, very good team. They're ahead of us in the standings right now, and, we know we need to play well.
And perhaps the most important point of that game, you just said it, Idaho State 1 game ahead of the Vikings in the standings. So if the Vikings can beat the Bengals on Thursday night, you would actually move up a slot into a tie with them for 5th place in the Big Sky, and that's important as we approach the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, every game at this point is really important. I mean, everything's kind of so jumbled up in there that one win, one loss could drop you or move you up. So, we know every game's important at this point. We got to focus on what we got to do on, each and every day leading up to the games, and then we know that every game at this point is important. So we're going to give it our best, and hopefully it's good enough.
All right, Saturday night is Weber State. Real quick on Weber State, the Wildcats in 3rd place, and they beat the Vikings in Ogden earlier this year, and that was probably your biggest deficit. I think it was a 16-point game. Didn't play particularly well. What are the Vikings going to have to do differently in their approach to Weber State this week?
I mean, it was 2 completely different games. One game where we played probably our best, and then one game where we played probably our worst in conference play. So, they're really talented. They do a great job of putting their, like I just said about Idaho State, Weber State does a really good job of putting their players in the best positions to succeed. And we know they're really talented. We know they're really well coached, and obviously they got us pretty good over there. So there's a couple things we're looking at doing coming up for that Saturday game to where we need to make some adjustments and do a couple different things because the first time didn't go as planned. So and that's what you got to do second time around. You got to figure out what you did wrong the first time and fix it for the second time.
All right, and finally, Saturday night is Strick City night as we honor the memory of Deontay Strickland again this season. Coach, tell us a little bit about the meaning of that night.
I mean, it's probably the most important night. It is the most important night for our program. I think about Strick every single day. I miss him every single day. I wear my Strick City band every day. I miss him a lot, and you know, it's an important night. His family will be here, because one thing as a head coach I want to do is I want to make sure that his legacy continues on forever at Portland State, because he meant so much to us. You know, every day in practice, he practiced hard, he played hard, he was a great teammate. He had the ability to connect teammates, which is a huge quality to have. And, you know, he was very important to this city. You know, like there would be several times we would go out recruiting and he would just pop up at a random high school game, you know. So yeah, and we miss him every single day. And it's always an emotional night. But we're looking forward to celebrating him, and we can't wait for it.
All right, Strick City night, that's Saturday night. Portland State Vikings at home this week. The Vikings against Idaho State Thursday, Weber State Saturday. Both games tip at 7 p.m. Come on down, get your $4 tickets. Come down and honor Deontay Strickland. If you can't be here, watch us on ESPN Plus. For all your information on Vikings basketball, go to govikes.com.